Sorry about that. Oh, I'm having a bad camera day today. My name's Alex, and I have cerebral palsy. I, if you're new to the channel, we talk about anything and everything: cars, enjoying cars from the passenger side, sex, masturbation, uh, your best friend's bum, your best friend's panty, all of that, And I know, as a grown man of today years old, you people have a tendency to say, you should have outgrown that, you should have mastered that at this level. But society is shaped in such a way that because you have a disability, things are geared up so that they start late for you. It doesn't mean that you are mentally deficient, although there are some cases of cognitive difficulty depending on what the disability is or the severity thereof. But because things have started late for you, you experience dating later, you experience drinking later, you experience, sex later. Perhaps you're masturbating since you're 16. But, that's other type of things we kind of like to talk about. And if you want to start a conversation with me, start the conversation in the comments. I do have Facebook, but start a conversation with me in the comments first. Then like and subscribe. Um, so today I want to talk about, especially to all the parents, if you are an adult and you have a disability and you're living with your parents, maybe you want to play this video for them. To the parents, the support system for your child, boy or girl, the support system will change. You will get older, and so will they. And I don't mean this in any form of disrespect to anybody. So when you see them verbally communicate with confidence and assertion, don't mistake that for arrogance. Don't try and push that they should be humble all the time, because who knows? Maybe their jokes are putting people at ease and helping them sell the concept of their disability. Uh, Scripture says make a joyful noise, but you as a parent cannot determine what that joyful noise is. Let them use the life skills of verbal communication to get a driver, to get an Uber driver, to get a caregiver, and things like that. And you cannot determine what should be in that caregiver's job description, because you don't know what Johnny Boy wants to do. You don't know that Johnny Boy maybe wants to stay out a bit later, go to Susie's friend and have a bit of fun there. Your frame of reference is at least 20 years older than your son or your daughters. And while you're brilliant for dropping them off at university during the week because you're on your way to work, it very often is the weekends that become a problem, because everybody's out and you think, what you do is good enough for Johnny, and it is. But the problem then isn't the weekends, it's that midweek outing that Johnny Boy doesn't always seem to get, because he's not been allowed to train a driver for himself. And yes, I know I've spoken about the fact that younger drivers drink and then they drive, and that still happens today, even in 2022. At the lead up to Christmas, you got to start gearing up for that as well. However, you need to realize that there are retirement ages for everything, even caregivers, and that stems to parents as well. You can still be a parent and impart parenting wisdom, but in terms of morals and sexual expression and amusement and merriment, the frame of reference has changed. And you gotta accept that. And this is important because we also have to acknowledge that if you've been disabled from birth, you most likely, um, in my time, they used to term it a special school. You most likely have attended a special school, same education, grades 1 right through 12. But the school has RAMs and OTs and occupational therapists. And very often, what would happen is the parent would ask to stretch out the kid, practice occupational therapy exercises. What would happen is the parent would over identify with that model, and then that would determine whether the kid was allowed to learn to drive at the same rate as their able bodied siblings. Sometimes they did, and sometimes they didn't. And that causes a big confidence problem because the mother then still believes you shouldn't be arrogant, but maybe if you had allowed your child to be a bit arrogant when they were younger and learning to drive, they would have achieved and had the driver's license. You know, believe they maverick from Top Gun behind that wheel. Uh, nothing is nothing is an obstacle for them because once they're behind that wheel, they're free. You know, but I get it. There's a safety concern, blah, blah, blah. The other phrase that I often grew up with is, look, I have a severe disability. Even though I have the gross motor function to wash and dress, cooking is going to be a major challenge. Although, thank God for the air fryer. So, the other phrase that I grew up with is, you must have a good wife. So, when you ask the question, what is a good wife? They say somebody that's going to help you, somebody that's going to cook, somebody's going to help you wash and dress. Notice nobody speaks about what must happen in the bedroom. And because we've been psychologically conditioned that that is something shameful, something private, and it is not. Obviously, you're not going to have six furniture in the bedroom, in the lounge when your visitors come and visit, but, sometimes the six furniture helps. But for the rest of it, this is my message. You can outsource it. Back in the day when my friends came from overseas and I needed to go somewhere, they grabbed the keys and they took me and I went for appointments. There was always an older lady with a driver's license who dropped me off at the airport, doctor's appointments, foreign exchange for travelers checks and things like that. There was always that old lady. But nowadays that old lady is called the Uber driver or whatever. There's always going to be somebody that's too lazy to work that wants to know, that wants to do the odd thing. As long as they've got that $100 now, so that they can do what they do. And also, you can't prescribe to them what they then should do with the money that you pay them. But that's where I'm going to leave it. All I'm saying is your support system is going to change. And parents, you must allow the person that needs the support system to be in charge of the criteria that the person needs. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen? Your son is going to bring home a girlfriend and you're going to make friends because you think you're going to help your son along. What's going to happen? If him and said girlfriend have an argument, then you are going to cause him to be treated like a child by that girl because she's going to say, your mother's a very intelligent person and blah, blah, blah. What's going to happen? No nookie for him. Yeah, But that's where I'm going to leave it. Yeah.